When I heard about this feature in Microsoft Excel, it blew me away. Now, before we get started, I have to tell you, it's not perfect, but even with its rough edges, it's going to save you a lot of time. Data is all around us, and often data is represented as tables. And we come across these tables in newspapers, in books, in magazines, and most often online. Now you can easily import a whole lot of these tables directly into Microsoft Excel within seconds. I'm going to show you a bunch of examples in this video, starting with the easy stuff. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share 5 things to look out for to make sure you get the best results. I'm using Microsoft Excel on my Mac, but these features also work just fine for both of you that are on Windows. Example number 1. Here we have a list of employees. Let's try to import this directly into Microsoft Excel. How would we do this? So here I have a new file. I'm going to go to Insert and look for the data from picture icon. Once I click on this, select picture from file as opposed to picture from clipboard, which we will get to in a minute. And now I select my file. It's a PNG file, so that's an image. So let's click open. So right away you notice we've got a sidebar that's open. Within a couple seconds, Excel has finished processing this, and now we have some information to work with. Let's take a look. We have our table up here, the image, and down here we've got our table with a few cells marked in red. So what this means is Excel isn't quite sure whether this is accurate or not. So Excel is giving us a heads up that you may want to double check this, and we're going to do just that. There are 2 options here. Either you can double check this right here in this data from picture sidebar. What I like to do is go to Insert Data, and it's going to warn me there are 4 items that require review. I'm going to insert anyway and bring this data into my column. And this is where I like to double check this feature. As you can see, we've got a very clean looking file, but still this feature wasn't perfect. We've got a bunch of errors here. Let's take a look. Let's get the first row. Get that title sheet here. And this has a few cases. Over, delete this, and we'll go to Excel. And there we go. Within a minute, we've imported this table into Microsoft Excel and double checked that it is accurate. With example number 2, we're getting closer to a more real-world example because as you can see, this file isn't perfect. It's not cropped quite right just to show you the data. So this is a table of information about different diamonds. And as you can see, there's extra information here. Like the top and the bottom of this image isn't quite the data we're looking for. So let's see how Microsoft Excel deals with this. So once again, I'm going to walk through the same steps with example number 2. Go over to Insert, select Data from Picture, and then select Picture from File. And here I'm going to select our example number 2, which is about diamonds. And it's going to analyze the photo. Boom, done within a couple seconds. And again, right away, we can see there are some cells that are marked red over here. Once I click Review, so right away it zooms in to the part of the image where it's not sure about the data, and it gives us a text box to either correct or insert the data. And in this case, it's a Z. I'm going to select right that. Boom. And here, that's a 1. I go to it. 0.6. Video, PS1. So here's correct. Video, PS1. All we want to do is correct. This is what I will find. Accept. And insert data. So boom, here we go. We've got our data within an Excel file. And now it's up to us to clean this up and see which parts we want or don't want. And by the way, one of those we want. It's not our data. These are tabs in our file. So question that. And show something we want. First of all, I see this over here. Was I1. And if I was doing this for work, I would double check each of these rows to make sure it's accurate, because it takes just another extra minute or so to double check rather than get stuck with bad data. In this next example, we're going to copy a table that we come across on the internet, and I'm going to show you how it works when you copy a table and you can import that directly into Excel. Here's the table we're going to work with. It's a blog post by Malcolm Barrett. I'm going to use a tool I have on my computer to take a screenshot of this and then copy that screenshot. So this is how I'll do it. So take a screenshot, and here I'm going to select copy. Now that I have copied this table and it's in the clipboard, I can go ahead and get rid of this. Let's go through our steps again. Go to the Insert tab, select Data from Picture, but instead of Picture from File, I'm going to select Picture from Clipboard, and it's just going to start analyzing. I don't have to paste it in this tool, and boom, right away it found the table and it's importing it. So let's click Review, and Italy, that is correct. Okay, accept, and I'm just going to click Insert Data. Yeah, so right away, really quickly, we found our data and we've imported it. And as you can see, there's some formatting issues with this, so let's correct that. And there we go. It took me less than a minute to double check the data, and that's how you import a picture that was on your clipboard into Excel. All right, this last example is very ambitious. This is a photo of a newspaper article from a long time ago. As you zoom in, you can see it starts to get pixelated very quickly. So we're going to see how Microsoft Excel deals with importing this kind of data. Again, go to Insert, Data from Picture, Picture from File, and now I'm going to select our file, which is Stocks Old Newspaper, 14 kilobytes, and it happens to be a GIF. Let's see what happens. Open. Excel is analyzing. There we go. Let's see how many red. Oh, there are a bunch of issues here. I'm just going to click Insert Data, and then we can see what it's found out for us, and then double check the data there. Insert Data, and it's giving me a warning. There are 17 items that still require review. Do you want to insert anyway? I suspect there are more than 17 items that require review, so let's click Insert Anyway and see what happens. What? Okay, as you can see here, far from perfect, arguably not useful at all in this example. But for a file that was so tiny, like 14 kilobyte GIF file, which is, blurry pixelated text on a gray background, I suppose it's something, right? But in this example, I would say not useful at all. Hopefully in your use cases, as you're using this Insert Data from Picture example, hopefully you have better resolution data than this. And as promised, I'm going to tell you 5 things that you need to look out for when you're using this Data from Picture feature in Microsoft Excel. Number 1, this feature is not available offline, so you have to be connected to the internet in order for this to work. Number 2, as we saw in the last example, if you have a very low resolution photo, you may not have the best luck with this feature. So the higher resolution, the clearer the photo, the better. Number 3, this feature is also available on Microsoft Excel mobile apps on both iOS and Android. But if you're taking a photo of your data, make sure the photo you take is not blurry. Number 4, this feature often confuses zeros and O's. So if you're using this, double check any 0 or O in your data set, because it's very likely it might have mixed it up. Same thing with ones and I's. Lastly, if you have columns on your table that are overlapping other columns, like this or this, pay extra attention because this feature doesn't do a great job of importing those. Yeah, that's it for this video.